Welcome to another edition of the eSpot with Camille. The eSpot is your location for the latest in entertainment, beauty, and design from the people who make it. Thanks for joining. Hello, welcome back to the eSpot with Camille, and I'm your host, Camille. And today we have the truly hilarious, talented guest, comedian, actor, writer, producer, who I had the pleasure of meeting in November and instantly became a fan. Actually, I became a fan before that, but meeting her made it even more spectacular. So if you don't know her, you're going to be a fan too. This is Lauren Howard Hayes. You've seen her on ABC's Happy Endings, and we don't mean those kinds. Bigfoot famous and absolutely killing it on social media with her iconic impressions of first ladies, Hollywood legends. She's got the comedic chops for SNL mixed with the charm of PBS. So basically, the perfect guest for today's show. Welcome, the one, the only, Lauren Howard Hayes.
Yay! Thank you for that intro. Oh my gosh. I was like, who is this woman? It's me.
And don't you just love that? I'm like, first of all, I got a little tongue tied on the name because I'm always like, oh, it's three names I have to get out. So is there significance to saying all three or that you go by all three? Is there someone else that has some of your name kind of, so you have to use all three?
I came out here to LA. I'm in Los Angeles as Lauren Howard, and I just needed a little pizzazz. So I added my mother's grandmother's maiden name.
Oh, wait, don't give up
Hayes.
too much. They can figure out
Yeah.
your codes from that. You know, that's like a bank
shoot.
question.
Oh shoot.
Just kidding.
I mean, Hayes is a mythical character that I made up.
Like LHH. Okay, yeah. I love it. So I have to ask because immediately when I looked at your bio, I was like, oh my gosh, she was a Disneyland villain. So you started off as Cruella Deville. Mm-hmm. I do have like a couple of puppies, so don't go back into character. But how did that opportunity come about? What was the training like? What was some of the like most exciting stories? I'm sorry, I'm so excited and I can't hide it.
Oh my gosh. First of all, so much fun. And they drilled it into me to say I'm friends with Cruella Deville, so Disney, don't come at me. I got the opportunity because I used to do pageants and comedy was my talent. And through the pageants, I met someone who was affiliated with Disney Casting. And so she had this special audition and she pulled together a few girls to do princess auditions, and I auditioned as a princess initially. And once they were like, just here, put this wig on, and just improvise. So they wigged me. I improvised as a princess, Jasmine, which no, immediately no. I'm so white. No, I'm glad I didn't get that role. But I improved as Jasmine, and they were like, huh, okay. That was good, but you're too funny to be a princess. And I was like, huh, okay, now what? So they tried me as Cruella Deville. They put the wig on. They were like, go. And just something happened to me. I just unleashed. I was like, hello, darling, welcome. It was so wonderful to see me. I just had a blast. And they cast me. And it was the best. It was the best. I did make a lot of children cry unintentionally. Sorry about that.
You can't just drop that. Like, what do you mean? Were they scared you were going to take their puppies? Was it the fur? Was it that you were just too good as Cruella? Like, go for it.
In those Cruella Deville heels, I was the shortest one. And so they had to give me higher heels. So I'm like a 6'1" woman now. And she's just such a big personality, and she looks scary. She's kind of a scary looking woman. I think she's fabulous. And they were so worried. The children were very worried about their puppies. They would see me because their parents pushed them in front of me, which is traumatizing. And they would be like, no, don't take my puppy. I just got it for Christmas. And I was like, oh, don't worry, darling, but does it have spots? And they're like, yes. I'm like,
oh my
and
God,
then we would get a photo of the kids crying. Like
That is amazing.
Then there were other children who loved Cruella Deville and would show up to the park dressed as me, and that was rare. And when it happened, I made the biggest deal about it. I would see them from across the way, and I would be like, "Everybody stop! Look at that gorgeous creature!" And we would take, we would basically have a photo shoot together. So it was just such a wonderful, wonderful experience. I loved working for Disneyland.
I mean, it is the most magical place on earth,
Mhm.
So you went from Disneyland to getting well, wait, actually, I want to back up. So you did pageants. I did
Yes.
pageants back in the day, and
Uh-huh.
I should have used comedy as a talent because, yeah, my answer to one of the questions basically made everybody go, and the people that knew me were like, I don't know her. So I have to give you a lot of credit. That's an amazing talent. I now judge Miss America pageants locally, and I love. It's the most fun thing I can do as a volunteer to give back, besides other stuff. But anyway,
Mm.
what made you? I mean, what made you decide on talent being a comedian, and what was that feedback like? Did you? I mean, how do you make fun of people at a pageant? Like, I am tongue tied just thinking about it.
I love that we get to connect over pageants because it's rare that I meet people in the industry. Either they keep their pageant history on the DL or they're just not.
I know. I'm very proud of my one little thing
Yes.
I won. Even
Yes.
though, like, if I'd kept my mouth or if I did a better answer. So I'll just go into it. I was in the top 5, and this was like my second pageant. I was pretty sure I was not going to make it at all, and so I didn't. With my coach, I never even practiced on stage interview, and I was like, I'm an actor, I can wing it. Oh no, improv is completely different, and I started taking improv and speech after this moment. But so they basically were handing me the crown. They asked the question to compare doing pageants to doing taekwondo competitions, because I also competed in taekwondo competitions. Yeah, my mom was a stunt woman. She was like, you got to know another skill just in case. So anyway, I said, oh, well, for taekwondo competitions, you don't have to get dressed like a drag queen. Mind you, this is the year 2000.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's why everybody went, oh, and then
Oh, wait, you said that.
I said that because I had lashes on for the first time in my life. I had to get tan. Everybody gets tan because the lights are so bright on you.
Oh yeah.
I had covered up my birthmarks. I had like fake nails to the gods. I was wearing the clear heels. Like the whole thing felt like being kind of a drag queen instead of myself. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's when I'm like, how did you do it? I'm so impressed. So please, yeah. How did you decide to
I
do that? Although USA doesn't have a talent portion. So
Oh, gotcha. I
I
was
missed
gonna
that.
ask you. I saw on there USA. So you did USA system?
I did.
Nice. I did America. I did
Or
America.
I enjoy them so much. Like these women are so freaking talented. Like I'm
Yeah.
blown away every time I go and get to judge one. Like I'm like, can't wait, sign me up. Sure, I'll drive 2 hours. So tell me, what was it like doing the comedy portion of a pageant?
Oh my gosh. When I auditioned for my very first pageant, I was high school senior. I just graduated, so I was 17. And my mom was like, Lauren, I think we need to get you used to being on stage. So you should audition for Miss Garden Grove. And I was like, hey, sure. And so I went to the audition with dance as my talent. I did my dance, and the judges looked at me and they were like, can you do anything else? and,
Oh,
and I was like, yeah, actually, I can do voices and impressions. I was kind of like my class clown in high school. And I did an impression of Molly Shannon's Mary Catherine Gallagher and a few other voices of my teachers from school. And they were like, that's your talent. We're okay. Yes, you have a spot. You have a spot for the pageant. And so I did comedy as my talent. And at the local level, I had so much fun doing that, and just like it got me in touch with my comedic voice. And I'll tell you, those first few pageants though, mama was rough. I did not know what I was doing. I was all over the place, but now you're finding it. And then when I won Miss Garden Grove, I honed my monologue and went to Miss California for the state competition. And boy, was I humbled. Those girls were so good. I mean, we had opera, we had ballerinas. I stuck out like a sore thumb, Camille.
I can't relate. Yeah, I was like, there's no way I'm competing again. Everybody's going to remember, or it's going to get around. I mean, this is before social media because it's the year 2000. But yeah, I was like, there's no way I'm doing this again. But that's why I judge Miss America, not Miss USA. So nobody recognizes me from my pageant days. And because I stuck out kind of like a sore thumb, because it's funny that one of the teens at the time I was working on Dawson's Creek, and she played me during the hurricane system or hurricane. There was like a hurricane in Wilmington. So they had somebody else that lived closer play me from like a distance because we looked nothing alike. There was a huge height difference, which was kind of cute. But she told me she played me and I was like, huh? And yeah, but needless to say, I'm getting off subject here. It wasn't many of people of my complexion, but there was also not many people who said referred to pageants as drag queens in the 2000s. Like now that would be, oh yeah, girl, they would have loved it. But back then in the South, yeah, everybody would know.
They heard the word drag queen. I mean, I kind of grew up in the South. I mean, it's Orange County. It's been compared to the South.
Orange County here, yeah.
Yeah. Very conservative. So like this comedian comes out and I'm sure, I mean, was drag queen, the words drag queen back then kind of like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is ironic. My best friend who was my hairstylist and so on, he now is a big time drag queen. And I'm like, I called it first. He was like, but actually I did that before I met you. I just didn't do it anymore then. But I'm like, hey, it's a full circle moment. He won like an Emmy as a makeup artist for We're Here. So
whoa, cool.
I love the drag queens. I think they're beautiful. I just was not prepared that for pageants you had to do so much. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. But
yeah, you're answering insanely political questions before your frontal lobe is fully formed.
100%. I mean, when I think of California, was she even California? She might have been Miss South Carolina. I can't remember, but I remember her having to answer questions and she was like, I will train people on maps.
Oh, yes.
It's difficult. It's really hard. Like I had so much more empathy for people who have made it to that far. And you're also on television and you're answering these questions that maybe politically you're scared to out yourself, or even education wise, you're like, I didn't study geography.
Right.
And I'm dyslexic. So I can mess up words by accident anyway. So I was like, I learned my lesson. I'm better at judging because I can see the diamond in the rough, to go back to Disneyland a little bit. I have that. So you went from Disneyland and then you went to college land and you actually had like a real live education. You got your BFA in acting, as well as you went through all these wonderful, amazing schools for comedy. How did that also like shape your voice and get you to where you are now?
Ooh, great question. College was definitely the broader sense of theater. We had to do everything. We had to do lighting. We had to do set design. And it just made me appreciate theater as a whole. And then when I moved to LA, my mom is the one who's, she was like, you need to go to Groundlings. And I was like, what's Groundlings? And she said, oh, that's where Will Ferrell studied. And later on, Melissa McCarthy came from there, Kristen Wiig. So this was an iconic school to create characters, which is what I love doing. I love characters, I love wigs, and I love costumes. And going to Groundlings, learning improv as my foundation really shaped who I am. And I love the Groundlings. I love that school so much. I owe my whole style to them. So, and then, yes, Second City, I learned just like foundational scene work, which is also good to know for writing sketches, which is something I also do. And then UCB, different style. That's more, it's called the game. You find the funny of the scene and you just follow that. So I'm kind of a Las Vegas buffet when it comes to my comedy style.
I would say, but you're also a star maker, right? Because you created these viral videos with North Carolina's very own political commentator, Brenda Pollard, also known as the
Woohoo!
Brendas. How did that hilarious collaboration come about?
Oh my gosh. This was my favorite thing that happened last year. So, this is how it went down. There was a video posted on TikTok of this woman commentating on Spectrum News. And Brenda Pollard is a style icon. She has the most unique haircut. It's and it's called the tri level. Because if you try me, I'm gonna level you. It's got the bangs up front, and then it cuts down over her ears, and then it waterfalls in the back. And she's got volume, honey. And so she's commentating on on this political show on Spectrum News because we were smack in the middle of the 2024 election. And I saw this video of Brenda and I was like, I'm in love with her. And I want to be her. And so I dressed up as Brenda, and I did this in 10 minutes. I dressed up as Brenda, smacked two wigs on top of each other, and I created a video kind of defending Brenda, or more so like explaining why my hair is the way it is. And it went viral. I had no idea it was going to be seen by anybody. I was like, this is so random. This is just for me. Yeah, it took off. And I was down in San Diego doing a shoot, and I opened my TikTok and I got a message from the North Carolina Democratic Party. The head of marketing, Kayla Jacobs, messaged me. She was like, Brenda saw your video. She loves it and she wants to make one with you. I pulled my car over so fast. Yeah, I just outed myself. I was looking at TikTok while I was driving. And so we touched base, and we did about 12 videos together. We collaborated. We came up with even more names for our famous Bob Sholett. I mean, we got the tri-level. It puts the country in country club. It puts the sass in sassafras. PTA page boy. Somebody commented berries and cream, which I thought was really cute. And so then when it was getting closer to election day, Kayla was like, well, Lauren, if you want to come out to North Carolina for the watch party, she couldn't even finish her sentence. I was like, yes, I'm out there. I knew I got a custom wig made, so it matched Brenda perfectly. And I flew out there 3 days later for the watch party, and it was amazing. Seeing Brenda in real life, it was like a movie. Like the hallway just stretched and our eyes were locked and we were like, ah! It's like we've always
Parent Trap. Meeting your twin.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Oh my gosh. And that's where I met you.
Yes.
At the party.
I was like, oh my God, she's really here. I was like, wait, is she from here? Because I was like, I've seen you on TikTok. I've seen and I've met Brenda like multiple times. She's always exactly like you described, the hair, the makeup, but she has like all the flares, all the buttons. And every time I see her, I'm always like, there's a new button. Let me read that, so I'm the advisor for the Wake Teen Dems. And so we would have a lot of events together. And she would always like make sure the teens were meeting people and introducing them to people. Like, she's just an amazing person.
Yes.
So for her to get this shine, like sometimes when people, like you actually made a good person, even put her on a bigger platform. So applause for you for doing that. But
thank you.
One of the good ones, because sometimes you're like, another Kardashian gets a great cover or something,
Right.
Right. Yeah. Like Kardashians. But anyway, it was nice that someone that's doing good was put on a platform. And speaking of characters, you do all kinds of characters. And let's talk about the viral Melania.
Oh,
I'm always scared of mispronouncing her name because they say it wrong sometimes on purpose, but over 35 million views. What was your inspiration behind it? Like, how did you know how to create? I mean, did you know you were creating a hit before sharing it? Because you said with Brenda, you were just kind of like, oh, this is just for me. Did you know with Melania, like this is gonna take off?
I didn't know. I didn't know. So Melania came to be in 2020, we were all stuck in the house from the panini, the pandemic. And I created her because there was just all the boys were having fun with Donald Trump. All the comedians were impersonating DT. And I was like, well, I want to join the fun too. Where's Melania? Where's the first lady? So I created a TikTok account, and my very first Melania video, so bad. My impression was so bad. I was very just like stiff and just not connected to my character yet. I hadn't found her, but I posted it anyway. And I kept honing it, and I had like 5 followers, and I would post another one. I would get 5 more followers, but I wasn't doing it to go viral or to make her a thing. I just stuck with it. And then one video, it finally hit. I was Melania Trump in the bathroom coming face to face with Jill Biden at the presidential debate. And I posted the video, woke up, millions of views. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And so just from there, she grew. And yeah, Melania's she's just, you have to squint your eyes and you have to like make love with the camera, but look away because you're so disinterested. You have better things to do. So for Melania, I did Joe Biden. And then I was like, well, there's more first ladies. And I added Mary Todd Lincoln, Jackie Kennedy. I've got some obscure ones, Ida McKinley, and Lucretia Garfield. So I
love that one.
What? Which
with
one?
The assassination ones.
Yes.
I was like, oh,
yeah.
Like it took a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, sorry, I digress. I'm a real fan of your work.
Thanks.
So sorry, interrupt your story.
No, I love that. It's funny you bring that up because that video, for the folks listening and watching, I was 4 first ladies. I was the widows. I was Jackie Kennedy, Mary Todd Lincoln, Lucretia Garfield, and Ida McKinley. And basically in that video, Ida McKinley and Lucretia Garfield were kind of jealous that the public still talks about Jackie's and Mary Todd Lincoln's husband's assassinations. It's a very dark subject, but it's like, oh, wow, aren't you special? And society's kind of forgotten about the other two. And that video is what prompted the National First Ladies Library and Museum to reach out to me. And long story short, I'm creating a comedy show centered around the widows.
We heard it here. Did I just get an exclusive, an eSpot exclusive? Okay.
You did.
Exactly where I was going. I'm like, I don't know if I know how to make that sound effect. Let me shut up before I out myself and my age. So you have this amazing range. Not only the first ladies. Oh, well, when will that show come out?
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be on Zoom. I'm developing it for Zoom because they're based in Ohio and I'm here in Los Angeles. And so it's going to be June 13th, Friday the 13th. How apropos for a dark assassination themed show.
Lindsay will love it. My kids love, well, my kids, I have one kid, but I hear a lot of John F. K. jokes from the teenagers now. So they might love this show. Not necessarily that it's for kids, but hey, you never know since it's with the Library of Congress. Wait, you said Library of Congress? No.
The National First Ladies Library and Museum.
There we go.
Yeah. It's a long one. NFL, LM.
We'll just go with that. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, we'll go
But
with that.
so you have like such a great range with the first ladies, the political side, but you also do like Jennifer Coolidge, Julie Andrews, Sarah Silverman. What's your process for developing each impression? And how do you code switch so quickly in between the two when you're doing multiple videos?
um, my process is like, first and foremost, I have to like it. If I don't like the impression or I feel like I have to do it, my brain's not going to hook into it. It's not enjoyable for me, so I won't do it. So I have to actually love the person I'm impersonating. Um, like with Jennifer Coolidge, which, okay, I'll do her for you. I mean, because like we can't talk about it and not do it. So I'll do it. Okay. Hi, it's me, Jennifer Coolidge, and you're watching that E-Spot with Camille. Dumbass.
Oh my God, I love it. Just made
With
my
her,
day. I never need to meet the real one. You know, you're not supposed to meet your heroes anyway. So impersonation's even better.
not to brag, but I will. Jennifer Coolidge follows me on Instagram because she likes my impression. Can we all just freak out about that for a second?
I mean, that's amazing. Yeah. I have all these wonderful things I never get to use. And so that was worthy of a double drum roll because that's hilarious and amazing.
What timing too. Um, yeah. So she does, hey, what's up, JC? And then, yeah, then I do Sarah Silverman, and she's kind of like up here, and she's like, you have to kind of close up your throat and bring it up into your head. And she's got like this lilty thing, and she talks about butts. She talks about holes and lady parts. If you're offended by that, then you need to look in the mirror. So there's Sarah. She does not follow me on Instagram yet.
Keyword yet. Yeah. Yeah. So when you like, of course I have to ask because you do such a good Jennifer Coolidge and you've been to the South and you do a great Brenda Pollard. And I absolutely love a certain show. You know where I'm going with this. Are you going to do Tsunami?
Oh,
Are you gonna do that one now? Because as soon as you were like doing the different characters, I was like, oh, she would do such a good Parker Mosley. Oh my God. Just throwing it out there as a request.
Yeah. Hyper, no. Tsunami.
I'm just saying, you have the look already of like with the brown hair. Might as well go for it, right?
I'm
not saying you like her, but I'm just saying it'd be easy.
I do like her. I love Parker Posey.
Oh my God. Like since Party Girl, like she's done so many films that I've watched. I'm aging myself. God dang it. The Gen Zs. I'm losing them right now. I'll bring it back.
Oh my gosh. I impersonate Mary Todd Lincoln. Okay. I never had Gen Z.
Okay, very valid point. I don't know though. They probably love that because they're studying American history. Like they're actually the ones learning history. Well, allegedly. So they're learning about all these people, and because some of us, like you said, have forgotten about these different characters, and you're giving them life again. And that's such a fantastic thing that you're doing because it is a fun way to educate us in a way.
Exactly.
Right?
That's why I do it. It's like that's where the PBS part comes in for me. I mean, I've got the SNL character style, but then the PBS part, I'm such a history buff. I love history. And but not everybody does. And part of what I try to do is make it fun and pique curiosity, but not like, being very boring about it. I try to make history fun.
And you do a fantastic job of it.
Thanks.
But
Thank you.
You've also accomplished as a writer and producer over 50 digital comedy shorts under your belt.
Yeah.
That's hugely impressive. Like amazing. Thanks. What's your advice for those creating on their own, especially in this times? Because it's kind of like between the strikes, the fires,
No. Yeah.
tsunami. Like we don't know what's next. We don't have enough Lexapro
I
to
love
get through it all. So, what's your advice for people who may just like keep it in the drafts, who are not brave enough to publish it? And because you said you started with 5 followers and now it's like 35 million, and most importantly, the one and only I lost her name, Jennifer Coolidge, follows you. Like, come on, like, what's your advice for people that are have some doubt?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you're talking to a recovering shy person, and it's okay to be shy. If you're shy about sharing your stuff on the internet, don't be, because there's an audience out there for everybody. That's the beauty of TikTok and social media is everybody's on it looking to find their thing that entertains them and kind of makes them forget about this world that's going on around us. So if you've got a bunch of drafts posted or not posted, post them. Also, I don't have a lot of fancy equipment. I use my iPhone and a microphone. I edit on my iPhone. Sometimes I'll edit on iMovie, which is free on my with my computer. I don't use a lot of fancy equipment. So number one, just do it. Number two, you already have the tools. Number three, don't be afraid to fail. I posted my really crappy Melania Trump impression, and it grew my world over a few years. I mean, I because of my TikTok account, I was able to go to North Carolina and meet you, Camille, and Brenda Pollard and the North Carolina Democratic Party. And I was helping create content for the party during the election. And if I didn't just put myself out there to begin with, I would have been missing out on something. So all of you creatives, just go for it.
I love that you're giving advice of just go for it, because a lot of times, whether you're a writer or producer, like, you feel so limited in what you can do. But now we have, like you said, you could just use your iPhone. I use my iMovie as well to edit my shows and so on. And I bought the expensive stuff and it was too complicated for me. I have Final Draft Pro, but it was like, this is way too complicated. And iPhone editing is so much easier. And sometimes I use TikTok just to edit stuff for promos and stuff. Like, use at your level. I love that you gave that tip, because sometimes people do think they have to buy the newest, latest, greatest, or Sony whatever cameras, and I'll see people creating with big stuff and I'm like, oh, I can't compete with that. Right. So I'm glad you're sharing that.
Yeah. I like that. I like how you put it. Use at your, would you say level? Use at your level?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You have the tools.
I speak a lot of times in movie lyrics or movie lines or music lyrics, so I probably stole that from somebody else.
I love it.
I won't take full credit for it. But
do you ever do that thing? Do you ever say like a credit or a lyric or a quote, and you see if it lands with anybody and no one gets it, and you're like, oh, well, I guess I'm the cool one.
Every once in a while. But now that my daughter's starting to listen to 90s music, I'm like, dang it, all my best material is gone. And she likes watching old shows too, so it's like, I'm done. I can't even pretend to be the cool mom. She can read right through me. She's like, is that from Korn? Okay, fine.
Oh, wow.
She
listens to Korn.
Yes. My Chemical Romance is her favorite. But Korn is also, she also listens to Limp Bizkit. She does listen to Tupac every once in a while, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, a bunch of names I can't pronounce because those are the newer bands that she listens to. Some of them are K-pop, some of them are J-pop, I guess is the right. I just support her creative journey because I went through all of that myself. So I just, you just let them blossom and hope that they talk to you still and don't put you in a bad old people's home.
I think that is the key to not landing in an old people's home is, like you just said, let them blossom.
I let her be her own person. But speaking of letting them blossom, I can't not talk about the fact that you are the bathrobe diet. and a full-on goddess in real life, or at least you portray one on TV. How did that come about? How much fun is it to be like the spokesperson? Like I used to say, my joke was that I want to be the Pine Sol lady, like that level of a job where she's completely can go anywhere without anybody noticing her, but she's collecting the checks and she's doing what she loves. And it's a fun gig. There's nothing more fun than being half goddess. I mean, well, half horse at that matter too. So how is that process? I want to know from the audition, from the makeup room to the actual, like the whole gamut. Cause that's that looks like a really fun gig.
Oh, I love it. So I'm the spokesperson for, I don't know if anybody's heard of Native Deodorant or uses Native
I have their
Deodorant.
lotion.
Yeah,
I use
their
it.
lotion's amazing, right?
Amazing. I think it's like sugar cookie. I love it.
That's a popular one.
See?
I was going to ask. You have good taste, Camille.
Thank you.
I auditioned for it 3 years ago as the centaur, like scent, scent. It was the wordplay. So yes, half woman, half horse. And it was a brand new product. I mean, it's been around, but they hadn't done a classic commercial campaign yet. So I was just like, I'm just going to bring what I do to the table and go for it. Because if I'm playing a half woman, half horse, then I can have fun with it. And I did. And so I booked it, and it shot down in San Diego, and I had to get into the costume was nuts. And this woman created the costume without measuring me. It was amazing. So they created a whole horse butt, basically, and then pants with hooves on them and high heels in the hooves. I felt like I was going to the club, like just putting on my heels and on this. And then they had to strap me into the butt, which is also, it's about like 5. Yeah.
Sorry. When you're with a comedian.
Oh yeah. Anything goes.
Much.
And then we shot this commercial, and I had a blast. The crew was amazing. Raindrop Agency is the one who produces it, and Native, just for having them trust me, which is just great. And then I thought it was like done, and because commercials is just like a one and done thing. Well, less than a year later, they brought me back as a new character for Native, Aphrodite, but for the Aphrodite. Like their wordplay game is good. And so then I was showcasing the body wash for this one, and then they just kept bringing me back, and I felt so just lucky. And because it is luck. Like there's no way to know when you go out for an audition and book it, like what's going to happen afterwards. So just to use a word you used earlier, blossomed. It just blossomed from there. And so we're in our 3rd year. And if they are on your YouTube or Instagram, don't skip that ad. Just watch it.
For sure. I will never skip it again. Not that I skipped it before, because how else would I have known about it? Well, also your bio, but I made sure to watch all of them because I was like, oh my God, each one is funnier and more fun and just interesting. And I was convinced that it was probably a green screen or some type of I don't know. Watching those behind the scene Marvel things, I was like, oh, was there like a guy walking behind her with
right?
In my head, I had this whole thing. So wow, one woman actually created that whole thing without even measuring you, which is really super impressive because it I mean, if I didn't know any better,
right?
5, I would think that was real. So I love that it was actually a suit. And I love that you're like, to go back to what you said a little bit earlier about with your history in PBS, and you talk about when you're not working, some of the things you like to do, which I think people need to learn more about, because with the tariffs, we're going to need to go like vintage shopping more. And so what are your tips for that? Because that's your fun thing to do, but also staying at haunted hotels. Like, are you not scared that you might bring back these characters you make fun of? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, these haunted houses. Just kidding.
I would love that. I mean, Mary Todd Lincoln would hold seances to specifically speak to ghosts. So I'm about that.
No, you didn't just drop a Brenda specifically.
Specifically. Oh my God. Yes.
Sorry, that word will never be the same again to me.
No.
But seriously, what are some of your tips that you can give to us? And then I promise I'll let you go because I'm trying to consider the fact that you are on West Coast time and this is heck early there.
Ah, it's all good. I've got my dad mug filled with delicious liquid. Oh yes. Okay. So antique thrifting. Yeah. With those tariffs, things are going to be going up. So, good thing I'm already in the habit of thrift shopping and antiquing. I love old things. I think the craftsmanship is better than what's made today. And I love items with a story. I mean, if you just look around my house, all of my antique glassware is in there that I've sourced from vintage shops, like $1 each. And
Wow.
they look cute and they have character.
I can't get over the lamp. Like that's what took my eye. And then I noticed the I guess it's called a buffet.
I don't think they can see.
Let's
see.
Well, I'll make it
There
big
we go.
again. But that whole
There's
I'll
the
just
lamp.
put myself small so you guys can see it. I
There's
was
the
just like
lamp.
amazed by all of it because you can see the craftsmanship, but it also looks like you have a record player on top. I'm like,
Yeah.
this girl is committed. Tell us how we can be like you because
Okay.
everything old is new again.
Exactly. Yes, that's such a great way to put it. I love Salvation Army. Goodwill, I feel like it's gone downhill. I'm just seeing a lot of Shein and yeah, not as many good antiques or vintage clothes at Goodwill. So I love Salvation Army. I love charity shops. Just like, and if the shop looks a little like, oh, that's not super cute, go in it.
Yeah.
Because the curated thrift shops are so overpriced. So if you go into one that's a little messy and needs some help, you're going to find some treasures there. They're in the other room. I got 2 tufted chairs, huge. They're like not huge, but like this big, and they swivel and they rock. $20 each, and they look brand new. So it's just about patience, and it's about getting an iced coffee before, because you're going to need your energy to go through that stuff.
And your Perel or natives, and if they have
Exactly.
bacterial.
Yeah.
So I love it. Thanks for sharing your tips, Lauren. Also, thank you for joining me today. You've been an absolute delight, and I cannot wait to see you. Or maybe here the next time we have a big party for Democrats that are winning. But I also would love to see you on stage. Hint, hint, Raleigh Improv. Is there any last words you would like to share? And make sure everybody knows where they can follow you.
Oh gosh. Follow me on the socials. I'm on TikTok and Instagram at Lauren Howard Hayes. That's my name. I'll give you 3 seconds to write down, 1 second per name. Okay, that's enough. Follow me on the socials. And like I said earlier, to all my creatives out there, if you're not sure, just go for it. Do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, I love it. Again, so thank you everyone for tuning in again for another episode of the E-Spot. We have new episodes every Thursday. Make sure you like, follow, share. Make sure you share this with a friend that may need this inspiration, or a comedian, or anyone that's looking for, or even Raleigh Improv, because that's the closest comedy club to my house. So even like if you know somebody at Raleigh Improv, so we can bring her here so we can see all of these impressions in person. That would be amazing. And until next time, keep sharing, keep commenting, and keep spreading joy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure you tell a friend to watch again. Okay, thanks.
Bye. Thanks, Camille. Bye.
Thank you. Yay.